We're on. Okay, so welcome to Rescued by Dragons. We're six nerds. Prove D&D is the best game ever because it makes us look forward to Mondays. So, and it's Monday, so I'm very happy about that. No announcements today, so just if you want to learn more about us, check us out at rescuedbydragons.com. If you want to at us for whatever reason, 7 of us think. I wasn't counting me. I was counting you guys.
You are a nerd, though.
Also,
I am a nerd.
in the middle of that, I brought my Discord up because I saw I had a message, and then it was just the GIF that Billy sent of the guy like flossing in the middle of that because it was on the different screen than normal, so I had to quickly like move it over.
Anyway, if you want to add us, do so in the socials. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebooks. Twitter and Instagram is probably best, and you can find those links on Rescued by Dragons. So, rescuedbydragons.com. So, with that, let's dive in where we left off last week. You guys were in Sandhearth. You went to the Tannery Road to specifically talk to Darlov of the Just the Arrow Tip Companion House. Winter paid a rather hefty sum of gold to have Darlov analyze her dream about the mysterious adventuring party in the tavern. You guys also went back and had her do a kind of tarot card reading where you learned that you asked questions about the person trying to have Ovin killed, and you learned that no one in Sandhearth, or the person was not currently in Sandhearth. It wasn't specifically Hennie, although Hennie had met, or Ovin had met the person who was trying to kill him. After that, you guys asked around, and through just questions at various inns and taverns, you learned that there were 3 dwarves in Sandhearth about 4 weeks ago, and you tracked them down to staying at the Downy Den, and Wilda let you see her ledger, her guest ledger, and in the guest ledger you saw written the signature H. Darkbrew. And that's where we left off exactly. You guys have about 2 to 3 hours before your planned dinner at Sandhearth. So, okay, we'll pick it up there. You guys have just discovered the signature of H. Darkbrew.
I
Dun dun dun.
didn't mention it last time, but I did want to say I really, really enjoyed the tarot card reading thing. I thought that was really well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my way of her particular class didn't actually have commune, so that was my way of giving it to her.
Fit right in.
Yeah. So let's pick up.
So that's Hennie, right? It's got to be.
Doesn't have to be.
Who?
Well, who else could it be?
Could be somebody impersonating Hennie.
Honey Darkbrew.
Maybe
Ooh,
they
that
have a
sounds
kid.
delicious. Honey Darkbrew sounds delicious.
Oh, it's their mead. Honey Darkbrew. I guess they could have a kid. I guess we didn't really.
Right.
We have that sending stone. We could just message Hennie, be like, "Do you have any other family with the name Darkbrew?"
Good.
Or
We have the
ask her.
stone.
Yeah, we could.
Ask her if she knows anyone else's initials are H Darkbrew. You should probably come out from behind the expo before what's her
We
face.
just wanted
Oh
Right.
yeah, I put the ledger away. Walk out behind the desk.
Yeah, you get 25 words per short rest. Per long rest, excuse me.
Is there any reason we would have cause to want to wait until after dinner to contact Hennie?
Maybe if something twisty happens during dinner.
Yeah, but maybe we meet somebody at dinner that's suspicious and want to take a more look at. I don't know. Maybe knowing that will help us suss someone out at dinner.
It might be worth waiting. I don't think this H Darkbrew signature is really that pressing. This is already 3 weeks old. It's not like we're
That's true.
losing that much time. As long as we don't forget. I know we all have minds as sharp as a
also
Boulder.
take
So
offense if we bring it up. And you'd be like, "What are you insinuating?" So maybe we should wait and
We
see
don't
what
have to
else
tell her
we
why
find
we're
out.
asking.
I
We
feel
burn a bridge.
Yeah, I agree with Lucky on this one. It might make us maybe more vulnerable than we would like to be
Yeah.
right now.
yeah, that's definitely a risk.
Okay.
So I think we just tuck this in the back of our noggins and maybe do some thinking about it, brainstorm, and we all smell like shit, so we should probably clean up before dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
I forgot about the shit.
It's hard. I don't. How?
I don't really
You kind of
know.
become nose blind to it.
You really do.
Yeah.
Noses
Okay,
suck.
so you guys go to your rooms. You put your clothing out to be quickly steamed and have the smell rid of it. And as you are, you get clean up, you get dressed. You're actually, about a half an hour before. You're about a half an hour before you're supposed to leave for dinner. And so, yes, Kelwin.
Do we have like ball clothes? Like, do we have formal gala wear, or are we just in our armor with our tabards? I don't
You're
think.
probably just in your armor with your tabards.
Okay. Might be.
I'm assuming none of you have some of you have like probably leather armor that's not beat to shit. You could wear that, but it's not. Yes, Lucky. Oh, you were just
I
saying
have a fancy outfit. I have a fancy outfit in my diplomat pack.
Oh, so Lucky, do you wear
I'm
your?
gonna wear my pants out.
So you guys all look like battle-hardened adventurers, except for Lucky, who looks resplendent.
Can you describe your outfit, Lucky?
Uh-huh. It is a black leather jacket with buttons that come up and black leather pants with a little hole for my tail to go out in the back and in a jaunty little hat.
A jaunty little hat.
Oh,
Excellent.
you're like a leather
Are you
daddy,
going?
but a cat.
Are you going to wear your tabard over it, or just the fine clothing?
No, that'll interfere with the lines.
Understood. Understood. Like where this is going. Okay, so you guys all kind of gather in the lobby before you're about to head out to the bar. You're all together, except you see Lucky stride down, making a late entrance, looking fine.
Has anyone...
But you realize you have about a half an hour to kill. You don't want to be too early since you don't know people there. And so this is going to be a time, because you guys had a mission to do. You were looking for information. You were looking for facts about whoever was sending the assassin to kill Ovin. Winter never gave you the exact blow-by-blow detail of everything that Darlov had told him about the lore behind Venzovace. So you guys just decide to kill a little time in the lobby of the Downy Den while Winter spins the tale that he was told. And as you sit down to say it, you realize, Winter, that you remember it almost word for word. Now, you were never what they would say a good student. Your intelligence is 9, so you're not book smart. You've never really had like a but the fact that you can remember this word for word is very odd. It's not typical of you. And you surmise that this is part of what the 250 payment gets you, is you are told this lore and you remember it very well for, you don't know how long or whatever, but for the immediate, yes, Winter.
And then when I'm speaking it, is it like someone else is speaking through me?
Winter just opens his mouth and
Normally
you
no,
hear,
but tonight it will be.
you hear the guy from movie trailers, and then Venza.
Well, yeah, if you want to hear the guy from the movie trailer. So you sit down to tell the tale. And this is the tale you were told by Darlov.
It's like that scene in Lilo and Stitch where Stitch just opens his mouth with the finger on the record and it just starts playing.
All right. So, in Hendrerit, the westernmost city on the westernmost continent of Mycenas, a gnome cleric named Kierna Barkhide recruited 4 other adventurers to assist her in a quest for divine service and knowledge. The first 2 were an elven bard named Venzo Vase and his human wife, a wizard named Ilia Jasmine.
Wife.
They agreed to join Kierna as they too were on a quest for knowledge, seeking a way to extend Ilia's human lifespan to equal that of her elven husband's. The dwarven barbarian Angor Frostbear and the elven warrior, Angor Frostbeard, and the elven warrior Gelid Brumel joined Kierna when she assured them that the deepest, darkest places of the world, which hid the most powerful divine knowledge, also hid long-forgotten treasure. They gained fame before even leaving Hendrerit, when they defeated a warband of goblins attacking the city. They traveled the world, clearing legions of undead from scores of catacombs. They defeated giants, ogres, beholders, and more. And though they never fought a dragon, they gained wide fame and a vast reward when they rescued the ancient bronze dragon Caligar's young wormling from a group of rogues seeking ransom. Interestingly,
Caligar?
yes, what? Caligar with a G, yes.
Okay.
Interestingly, Venzo wrote and shared ballads of their defeats as well. It is thought that their willingness to be shown as flawed adventurers rather than only as successful heroes is what made their tales so popular in taverns across the lands. The fact that one never knew if the ballads about them would end with success or failure kept the listeners' rapt attention until the very last word. The most popular ballads about their failed missions included failing to recover the Wand of Orcus from cultists on the island of Antimasa, killing the Orc King Morbi before discovering the location of the kidnapped Prince Donek and his stolen Helm of Brilliance in the Orc city of Utvel, and losing the fabled Moonblade, the Drow cleric Karabator on the Footprint Isles. After helping Kierna gather much knowledge and helping themselves accumulate much wealth, they heard rumors of a wizard living in the mountains near Shah Araka with the ability to create youth-restoring, transmuting stones. Thinking these stones might provide the life-extending answers Venzo and Ilia were seeking, they set out for the Araka Mountains. When they found the wizard, they learned he was not a transmuter, but a powerful necromancer, with a trio of devourer minions at his command. Without provocation, the wizard killed Ilia, then reanimated her corpse to fight beside him. It was a fierce battle, but the 4 remaining heroes fought well. On the brink of death, they managed to kill the necromancer and his minions, and Ilia's reanimated corpse. Heartbroken and consumed with grief at watching his wife die twice, Venzo carried Ilia out of the mountains and buried her in the western foothills. He built a house next to her grave, a fence with no gate around them both, and vowed never to leave her side again. Having accumulated enough riches for several lifetimes, Angor and Gelid retired from adventuring and traveled from city to city as Epicureans, sampling the culinary and carnal delights the world had to offer. Kierna accompanied them for a while, but when her unrelenting thirst for knowledge took her to more remote, less pleasurable locations, she said goodbye to Angor and Gelid. With the loss of Ilia and their retirement as adventurers, their fame and renown slowly faded away. They are now only remembered by a handful of scribes and bards as the Forgotten Five. And that was the tale told to Winter.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah,
So he lives on a grave.
he lives on
Next
his
to a
wife's
grave.
grave specifically.
It's a little
That's
creepy.
pretty dark.
Disrespectful, if you ask me.
Maybe
So,
she's still undead.
uh,
I
Let's
doubt.
hope not.
yeah, Lucky realized that there was a wrinkle in his fine clothing, so he went back to his room to iron it out, and he will be back down soon. So we'll wait for that. We'll take a brief momentary discussion break. So yes, that is the tale of the legend of the Forgotten Five.
So sad.
I say.
I don't even know what any of those places were. I guess the Shaharaka, the mountains. Has anyone heard of any of those places before?
I'm
No.
curious about the Isle of the something.
Are you?
With the,
Where did you get? We're about to eat dinner, Winter. What are you?
the nice lady gave me a chocolate covered strawberry. I met her on the street.
Maecenas is the continent to the west of the continent of that Elnor is on, Zatar. Yeah, the island of Antemesa that you guys have heard of it's one of their more remote isles. It is very to the southwest of the world. And so after getting his wardrobe issues fixed, Lucky has come back down and
Very quiet.
Has
Oh,
has
that's what I
anyone?
was thinking. Gotcha.
Yes. Has anyone been to a gala before? Should I not bring my?
this isn't a
glaive?
gala. This is just a feast. It's a dinner.
Okay. Has anyone been to
It's a dinner.
Is it? Yeah, but is it like? Are we just there because we're? It's just because we're warriors, right? We're heroes and stuff. I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about.
you guys are being honored for saving the town from the Boulettes. So
Okay.
if you guys showed up in your full armor, it certainly wouldn't be unexpected.
Okay, good.
No one in their right mind would set out to be doing what you guys were doing with just happen to have a pack of fine clothes with them, unless you're lucky. And
You,
now all
you
I can
said
think
right
of
mind.
is yeah. And now all I can think of is Lucky as Cat from Red Dwarf. Just always has like a vast, wonderful wardrobe of clothes. Ow!
Is this wizard still alive? Guy sounds like a douche.
No, they killed the wizard. They killed the wizard, and yes,
The necromancer.
the necromancer. Yeah.
We can
Did we have a
probably-
name for him or no?
No, there was no name.
We could probably.
There was
find
no
his
time
grave.
for pleasantries as he attacked Ilya right away.
Rude.
So, unnamed dead wizard.
Is it
Dead
not
necromancer.
rude to introduce yourself before you try and kill someone?
I mean, I would think it'd be the polite thing to do. I mean, you know, Inigo Montoya did it.
Mm.
I would think that's the standard.
Ah, yes, the famous. What was he again? A-
Swashbuckler, I think. A pirate.
Schwarzbuckler, soon to be pirate. I believe pirate was his next. Yeah. So you guys head over to the Gilded Trophy, which is right next to the Downy Den. You walk in. There are a few people in attendance. You recognize some of them. You recognize Magistrate Wilbur. You recognize Darlov. There are a few you don't recognize, but they're introduced to you as Wat Raher. He is the owner of the Gilded Trophy, and he is a very old man. You've heard the name Wat. You were told that he is basically the leader of the hospitality guild in the city. There is Shelby Heartgazer, a master hunter. Brooks Winterhorn of the Artisans Guild, and he owns a ivory and bone shop called the Bone Man. Stony Miller is there, the foreman of the waste workers who you saw in Cowtown, but you did not interact with. So those are the people in attendance. They stand up and clap politely as you walk in. You guys have seats set up, intermingled with them, so it's kind of like you're not sitting next to each other. It's kind of staggered, so you're next to a stranger, next to. But it's cozy. It's a decent-looking spread. Because the city has been under siege, they basically yes, Kelvin.
So our seats are just left open for us to, and they're already dispersed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I hold an action?
Of course.
In
You're
case,
technically not in combat, but if you,
in
but
case,
I'd give you. Well, what do you want to do? Or you?
well, if somebody attempts to attack us, can I
You
cast
guys are
spiritual
so
weapon?
paranoid.
I don't trust these people.
The last
Everyone
you
here,
guys are
we
not.
didn't know about it.
You guys are not in combat. So I would say.
Winter's just gonna smash a bottle and start a fight.
Yeah.
But we have our weapons on us, I would assume.
You all have your weapons on you, and they look like. I mean, they all look like they're kind of dressed like Lucky. They've dressed up. You can't see any weapons that you know of. Like they're not outwardly wearing weapons. Like there's no swords. There very well could be daggers in their robes. You don't know, but it does not look like they're armed or armored. Yes, Nicoya.
So it's just us and like a half dozen people. Is that
The heads
Okay.
of the guilds, right?
Yeah, basically the heads of the guilds.
okay?
Right. So this isn't a gala or a big feast. It's just like the appreciation of the merchants showing their
It's
appreciation.
a thank you dinner. Okay.
It's exactly what it is. So they bid you sit down, and
Winter, are you still eating? How many strawberries did that lady give you?
So big, like
the fact that the fact that
Right, I'll stop eating
the
soon.
fact that Winter is eating strawberries is even more shocking, especially to Kelwyn, because Kelwyn has noticed that even on this spread is not a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. The town has been under siege. The fresh food has been rotting in the fields. I mean, they were able to scrounge some that was still. Tell them to quiet down. No. How dare he play while we play? Gaming groups. Okay. So so most of the table there is some fresh meat. You are told they sent hunting parties out right away to get fresh meat for the town, and they scrounged what fresh fruits and vegetables were still available. Lots of things that keep. So there's breads and smoked meats and things like that, and jams and things like so that would keep that. So that's the majority of the feast. So wherever Wilda got strawberries, Winter.
Do you want to? You can make me full screen if you want. Like.
I hope you pinned that, Kelvin.
I sure did.
We know what this episode screenshot is.
Nom nom. D&D and snack time. Sorry, now I just have the chocolate shell and then I'm done.
Wow, so fancy, Winter.
Were those
Surprise
from
you.
Jerry's
Yeah,
Berries?
Fancy.
Yeah, it is. I asked my roommate's boyfriend to send enough for me to have chocolate too.
Nice.
Perfect.
Anyway,
Anyway,
who's sitting next to? Who am I sitting next to?
I'm gonna say I'll do this in order of the way you're on my screen. So I'm gonna say you are next. You are between Stony and Watt. Stony, the foreman, and Watt, the owner of the Gilded Trophy. Walburn stands up, makes a toast, thanking you for your service to the city, and says he has made a collection around the finer families or the merchant families of Northgate, and would like to present you with a token of their appreciation. And he hands you a carved ornate chest that's carved with a motif of a lion on it. And he opens it and shows you a chest full of coins and gems. So whoever is keeping track of the inventory, you now have an ornate chest containing 400 copper pieces, 7,000 silver pieces, and 1,800 gold pieces. As well as 13 assorted.
What was the copper again?
400 copper, 7,000 silver, 1,800 gold, and 13 assorted gems worth 50 gold pieces each. So 13 50 gold piece gems.
Bam.
So yeah, you guys are all feeling pretty good. You had 6 days of fighting creatures without getting much loot, and suddenly you are rewarded for your actions unexpectedly.
I like to think that they opened the chest and Lucky did just say "damn" like that.
Am I sitting next to Valmaya?
No, you are not sitting next to Valmaya. But you're sitting across from Valmaya, which is you actually are on my screen. So you're sitting across from Valmaya.
Never mind.
So they open it. Lucky goes, "Damn!" And some of the merchants smile and chuckle, and they feel like you can tell that Watt and Walburn have a self-satisfied smile. The members of the other neighborhoods in town just kind of like smile, but you can tell they're like, ugh, rich people. So Shelby, the master hunter, stands up and says, yes, the district of the district of, oh, now I'm forgetting what the heck district he's
Hunter's Alley?
But basically the artisans district also has a gift the Artisans Guild has a gift they would like to give you.
Tusktown.
Tusktown. And he presents you with a sizable, it's about, chest wide kind of thing. Ivory carved rhinoceros, but it's fully articulated. Like the joints move, the head moves up and down, but even the tail moves, and all of the gears, everything is carved out of some kind of bone or ivory. It is extremely intricate and extremely well made and very, 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 very well done. Yeah, it's very, very impressive.
How big is it?
What?
How big is it?
It's about 2 feet. It's about 2 feet across, 2 feet length, and so it's rhinoceros, 2 feet long, rhinoceros proportions. They put that down, and you guys are pretty impressed, and then excuse me, I think I might have missed someone. Oh no, yes, Shelby stands up of the hunting of Hunter's Row and says, yes, hunters, the hunters of Sandhearth also have a gift for the DMV, and he.
Wait, so who gave us the rhino?
The rhino was from Tusktown, and that was not from. Yeah, it was from Tusktown.
Just like the district.
And I might have got the Artisan Guild. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was by Brooks.
Okay.
Yep. Shelby, the master. I couldn't hear you, Lucky. Your voice, your audio is really choppy.
The ornate chest, was that like from hospitality?
That was from Northgate. So that was like the merchants.
Northgate.
Yeah. So the merchants, whether it be the inns and taverns, and yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so this is like the
Yep.
districts and each of the
This
guilds
is the-
that kind of house
All of the
our-
districts. Yeah. This is mostly gifts from the districts.
Okay.
So Shelby gets up, goes to the corner of the room, and brings back a giant 4-foot wide, just holds it up and says, and it's the largest stag horn you've ever seen, mounted on a giant wooden plaque, with engraved thank you to the DMV from Hunter's Alley. So he presents that to you. You guys are getting a lot of stuff. Let me see. I think I might have forgotten to mention Brooks. Okay. And
Yeah,
then
Northgate, Artisan Town, and Shelby from the Hunter's Cub.
Yep. I have another person here that I forgot to mention. Okay, so actually, hold on a second. Just a quick look at my note here. All right, you know what? I'll remember. A representative from. Actually, let me look at this. Sorry about the delay here. I thought I had that in my note, but I forgot. All right, a representative from Tannery Row, Lorem, gets up, and he presents you as a gift from the leather workers and tanners at Tannery Row, another sculpture, and this is a giant sculpture of a buffalo kind of thing, and but it's made. I don't know if you've ever seen tire sculptures. That are made with like strips of tire. They're really, really cool, and they kind of match like the musculature of the animal. They're really neat. But that's kind of what this is. It's like a big leather sculpture. It's made from strips of leather that just built up on top of each other and form the musculature and the exoskeleton of the creature, the buffalo. It's very, very ornate, and it's also really, really well done. This is a very, this town is a town full of artisans. And last but not least, or maybe least, depending on how you look at it, Stony stands up, and this big burly man.
Here's a wheelbarrow of shit.
No, he has a wheelbarrow, sort of, on a wheeled cart. He has and you guys noticed it as you walked in, but you thought it was just, part of the decoration. It's actually a potted pear tree with the largest pears you guys have ever seen. And he tells you that this is a pear tree planted with the finest fertilizer they make in Cowtown. And that if you bring it back to Darkbrew's Rest and plant it in your backyard or your yard, it will continue to give you very large peaches and succulent peaches for seasons to come.
The pear tree gives us peaches.
Pears. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, it's that good. The fertilizer is that good.
How is this guy still alive? What the fuck?
They give you all this, raise a toast to you,
I killed him like 5
and then Walburn says, also, we hope that for accepting these gifts, you will agree to accompany the caravan we have heading to Darkbrew's Rest tomorrow morning that we have got together hastily over the last couple of days. Our merchants have been very eager to go, especially since the Boulette showed up and proved to us that we definitely need to have more communication and partnership with our closest neighbors. So they have a 20-strong caravan of merchants ready to go that will be accompanied with some able-bodied men armed with, crossbows and for extra security. But they would feel much, much safer if you guys accompanied them on the trip back to Darkbrew's Rest. And that is the business at hand, and the meal commences, and nothing sinister unfolds unless you guys want to start it. If you have any questions about any of the members, any of the diners there, please ask away. But yes, Nicoya.
I have a question about the gifts.
Mhm.
I've noticed that there's sort of a religious theme pertaining to each district, except maybe Cowtowns. Is there somehow a relationship there?
Darlov actually smiles and says, "It's very astute of you. You might have noticed that the motifs on some of the doors and guilds within the city have and you would have known this from growing up there, but there's no central religion in Sandhearth, but every district kind of has its own mascot animal that's related to a god that takes that animal's form. For instance, the rhinoceros is the god Klebolt. Tannery Row, the cow, or the buffalo cow, is Neferet. Hunter's Row is the stag antlers, and their kind of patron god is Sanjay Oro, who they pray to before every hunt. So it's not particularly religious town, but it is, especially the hunters are very, very superstitious.
Does any district worship a bear?
No, not that they know of. Cowtown doesn't have a particular animal district. There's no specific religion in Cowtown, but because the conditions there are so poor, and just through talking together, there's kind of an unofficial agreement that the god Ilmater, 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 is the unofficial patron god of Cowtown, and he is known for, he's basically the god of suffering and brings aid to those who suffer and those who have been tortured and those who have been basically just, gotten the short end of the stick. So that's kind of the way it breaks down in Sandhearth.
About that caravan tomorrow. When's it leaving?
We're planning on leaving at first light.
I see.
And they will offer to help, you carry all your loot for you as well. So
We'll try to be there. I can't guarantee we will, though. Just the matter of we're still on business is all.
Well, if you need us to delay, we certainly can do that. We want to get there as quickly as possible. We need to get more supplies to the town. But I'm sure that everyone, basically it's agreed we won't leave without you. So take as much time as you need, but we would greatly appreciate it if we could leave as soon as possible.
We'll probably have a better time frame for you after our meal here, where our team can convene.
Appreciate that. Understood.
Who?
Is there anything we can? And then Walburn says, "Is there anything we can help you with? What kind of business? We assumed you guys just came down here for the boulettes. What is there anything we can help you with? Your other business, or is it confidential?"
It's classified.
Okay, that's understood.
Is this lamb?
No, it is not lamb. It is probably a giant badger.
Tastes like lamb. I don't really like lamb.
Is there any stench cow on the table?
There is no stench cow on the table.
Oh, that's my favorite. Okay.
What?
Stench cows are one of the more common livestock that roam the southern lands to the south of Sandhearth. They are large, fatty, and docile, and the reason they're abundant and don't have much and around is they're not attractive to predators because they smell really bad, especially when killed. So they're plentiful, so their meat is cheap. It also doesn't taste very good, so that meat is cheap, and is you find mostly in Cowtown as a cheap source of sustenance. However, the stench cow hides are quite good.
Oh, the thing on your steering wheel.
I'm not upset that there's not any on the table.
Stench cow glands are quite popular for some potions, particularly ones that you want to make your enemies vomit and get sick and that kind of thing.
I see.
I thought for sure you were gonna say an aphrodisiac. Just like fucking no.
Wow.
Well, in the right company, you never know.
I'm not kink shaming.
I am. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Beyond the like moment of just kind of like eye rolling at the elite,
Mm-hmm.
does it seem like everyone at the table is generally amicable toward one another, or are there any kind of, do we observe any interesting social dynamics at the table?
You observe everyone seems everyone's definitely cordial and polite. The only two that aren't really engaging too much in conversation, the only two that aren't, Watt is very quiet, but you get the feeling that Watt is barely able to stay awake because he's so old. And
I love him.
Stony is chuckles appropriately, but you get the feeling actually I'm gonna make. Nah, you guys have been around. I won't make you roll insight on this, since it's basic human behavior. He seems to be uncomfortable. This is not his ideal. You know, he's more of a working man, and these guys are more elite. He just doesn't really feel like it's his crowd. You don't think?
I like that I'm between the sleepy guy and
He's
the
not
uncomfortable guy.
Yeah, he's not intimidated at all, but he just doesn't seem like he has much to say.
So, do you all have big trades lined up for when you can go to DMV or Darkbrew's Rest?
I don't understand big trades. What do you mean?
I mean, sounded like you're looking for a boost of commerce from that opening.
Oh
up.
well, I mean, the way that we understand it is there's basically Darkbrew's Rest is a giant bazaar that attracts the surrounding cities, and so we will go and we will set up tents and try to claim our spot in the bazaar and sell what we can and buy things from other people and see what's there and hopefully come up with like any kind of commerce, trade our goods for their goods.
Worried it's gonna take away from any sort of tourism or trade you've got here.
Watt kind of, see, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying all along. And everyone kind of rolls their eyes, and it's like, and Brooks is like, it's not like we had people beating down the doors to vacation here in the first place. And anyway, people will, and then Shelby kind of, pipes up. Yeah, people will always come here looking to like learn to hunt and get into the action. It's like, yeah, we're not a vacation spot, but I think the more we can sell here, the better it is for the city. And then Stoney's just kind of like, well, I don't care either way. None of the money ever comes to Cowtown. So there's a little bit of a rivalry.
Wait, so Watt was concerned?
Concerned, but more in a kind of a gruff way, like, that's what I was saying. You validated his confirmation bias, basically. So.
So Stony.
Yeah.
You might not know this, but I used to work for you.
And he kind of looks at you and goes, well, only worked with a couple of tieflings, so you look familiar. I think I've seen you up on the wall.
I used to waste walk.
Well, you must have been pretty good, because I didn't hear about you. I usually only hear about the bad ones. The ones that need straightening out.
I worked hard for you.
Oh, I appreciate it, even if no one else in this town does. And Darlov kind of looks at him and smiles and says, "You know, that's not entirely true." And he just looks at him and goes,
Hmm.
Woohoo!
Obviously, it's Ego.
Everyone's eating.
Good badger.
So.
Are people consuming alcohols at all?
It's not a raucous party, but people are drinking wine and some mead and there's a bottle of whiskey, but it's not like a, no one's doing shots.
It's not like a.
It's not
Yeah.
like D&D at our house back in the day.
Yeah.
Well,
Chat.
the dinner has just started, right? We probably got a couple more
Yeah.
hours.
Well, at this point, you're like well into dinner. Like the discussion's been going on. You had the presentation of gifts, and so.
Kelvin just
In
looks
fact,
bored.
unless you guys had more questions, we could call dinner over, and you guys can decide. But unless you had more questions.
Nervous that I'm wasting an opportunity.
So, do you guys see many dwarves in
Not many. We
Sandhearth?
get a few. There's quite a lot of dwarves that are great hunters, and they'll come down and, they'll go out on hunting parties. But many of them don't stay. I think it's a little warm down here for them. But yeah, we'll get dwarves come, but not often.
I see. Well, this has been great. Is it done?
They thank you again.
Kelvin just
They thank you
asks,
again.
like,
Yeah.
is it over? Can we go?
Well, I'm sure you guys are probably still tired from your trek and your battles and things like that. We don't want to keep you any longer, especially if it would delay you from your business here. That would delay us getting a move on. So, if you could, and Walburn tells you if you could just let him know in the morning what your decision is as far as when you guys can leave. They thank you again for your bravery and services rendered, and hope they'll see you back in Sandhearth again. And Shelby actually says, the next time you do come down, I would love to take you guys on a hunt. So you have an open invitation to go hunting with Shelby.
Oh, before we
We'd
go,
love to next time we're in town.
do any of you know someone with the initials H, Darkbrew?
No, the only thing I can think of would be, isn't that Ovin's wife up there, Hennie Darkbrew? Isn't she running the show up there? It's the only H Darkbrew I can think of.
Yeah. Alright, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna be going. Thanks for the meal, it was adequate.
Thanks for the lovely gifts as well.
And
Thanks for the stuff.
They accept their thank yous graciously. They say, aside from the treasure, which they assume you will want to take back and divvy up amongst yourselves, they will put the rest of your loot on the caravan that is ready to go. So they'll take care of all that for you.
Appreciated. Alright.
Who has amongst you? So you know what D&D Beyond needs, and maybe it has this, and I just don't know it. Someone at me if they do. I would love to have something like, who has the highest perception in my party?
What kind of perception? Oh, is it
passive? Who has the highest passive perception?
I don't think it's me.
Does anyone have
Mine-
over a 16 or 16 or above?
Nope.
No.
Right.
I don't even know if that's possible at this level. I guess if you have a feat that alert feat.
Probably a
maybe.
high wisdom, and then.
You'd need a wisdom of 6 plus 6
Oh, okay.
without the
Oh.
feat.
Well, let me see. I think
I have good.
Lucky and Winter have good.
Just 13.
Perception?
Yeah, passive
Plus
perception.
So passive perception is 10 plus your wisdom
Wisdom
bonus.
modifier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
So I'm gonna say that Winter and Lucky. Well, actually, what do you have, Ula? You must have a
14.
14. Okay. So you guys leave the dinner without nothing. Nothing raises. There's nothing raises any concern. I mean, that was just like a normal, stuffy, kind of boring dinner. Where you guys got lots of loot. So
I'm glad they gave
That
us
makes me feel
stuff
better.
that was thoroughly uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean, but think about how many whores we could get with that money. Just saying.
Well, one fortune telling.
Or 1 for.
Um, well,
None of.
guys, I thought the bread was really something.
I decided
bread?
I don't think I like.
there was some
Badger.
good bread. They're good bakers down here too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Was it? I think there was
Badger
meat in the
hard.
bread too.
It was probably made with lard. You know, who knows?
There was no
Maybe.
fish. I wanted fish.
Well, we're kind of landlocked.
I know.
Kind of very landlocked.
Ula, will you please roll me a perception roll, please?
Maybe I'm just bad at sleuthing, but also none of those guys really seemed interesting. Most-
Okay, Kelwin, you
No.
also roll wisdom.
Oh,
Roll perception, please.
10 for me total.
oh,
Yeah, like
15.
15.3.
Weird. Oh, you. Okay. All right. So yeah, Kelwin, dude, even as your comment says, nobody seemed menacing. Everyone seemed to, and even Watt, who was the original target of your suspicions for wanting Ovin dead, seemed crotchety but harmless.
Yeah,
So, okay.
I was prepared.
Dinner
for...
is over. You guys have eaten a lot of meat and cheese and preserved dried vegetables and some fresh stuff, but you guys are carved up
We're gonna
and
be-
sleepy, but you know,
We're gonna be
Also
so
had some wine.
constipated from this.
you guys are going to be, well, you know, long march is good for that.
Do we leave tomorrow morning? Do we tell them to wait?
Maybe
Do we
we-
have any more leads?
Maybe we sending Stone Hennie tonight
Mm,
at this point.
It
mhm.
might be worth a try. I mean, perhaps this is her way of, it's a cry for help, hiring us to figure out how to save her from the dwarves who are pressuring her to kill her husband. I don't know.
Maybe. It would be pretty short-sighted if she was the one who was doing that and decided to hire us. So
Yeah, so that's another question. Do we try and pose any kind of warning regarding her dwarf guard companions, or is it too preemptive to make that assumption?
I don't know.
I don't think we bring it up yet.
I don't have any solid, like my gut, which is usually very talkative and is after all that meat and cheese, says nothing right now. I don't have shit. I do kind of have to shit, but it's not like I don't know.
Also surprising after all that meat and cheese. Kelwin can pass anything.
No, it's probably gonna be one of those where I feel like I have to poop and then I just sit down and it's just air and I'm disappointed.
It's called a fart.
You're
Yeah, but like a really misleading one.
Pathos.
Never been. So, we walkie-talkie Hennie. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
You have 25 words. What would you like to say?
Oh, I don't know.
Knowing Kelwin, he'll use 3 of the.
Yeah. Is it you? No.
I'm looking for.
Yeah. Hello, it's me.
How long have we been on the road, by the way?
You were on a 6-day march from Darkbrew's Rest. This is your second night in Sandhearth, so you have been on the road for 8 days.
But like from the very start, how long has it been?
Oh, in the campaign? This is like
Yeah.
day 32.
Very exact.
And
keep track.
The dwarves were here about this 3 or 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago.
So
about the time that we were meeting Hennie in Inglestone, somebody was down here.
As far as people recollect. Yeah.
oh, that's a good point.
That's interesting insight.
We should ask her if she's ever been to Sandhearth. Has she ever told us she's been here?
I think we might have asked her that, but I don't remember the answer.
I feel like she said something like she wasn't that familiar with. It was when we asked her where to start,
Mm-hmm.
and she mentioned checking the hospitality
She
guild.
had. I mean, we could
Do
just
we
ask
have
her.
anything in our inventory that would show us Henny's handwriting? Like that we can verify she wrote?
Did she write it?
You do not. She has never given you any kind of orders or
Yeah.
anything on paper.
We could. I think it's a good idea to just ask her if she was in Sandhearth 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Say someone thought they saw her, or
Yeah.
maybe not even. We only have so many words.
Were you in Sandhearth 4 weeks ago?
But
Do you have kids? Are your bodyguards safe?
I feel like we shouldn't bring up her bodyguards just in case.
Okay.
Maybe.
Willa's pushing Lucky off of her.
Now it's not the time.
Stop cuddling.
We have business to discuss.
Business first, leather later.
I think just those. I think that's all the words I can fit into 25, or all the questions I can fit into 25 words, even with how direct I am.
Were you here last moon?
Got
Do
kids?
you have kids? Not Sid. Any news from Darkbrew?
Just any news.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's only like 10 words. We got
Yeah,
we got like 4 more
make, like,
questions
20
we could fit
sentences.
in there.
Like a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Ever tried stink cow?
Stench cow.
Nicoya likes that fart cow down here.
I'm very nostalgic for my childhood when I was just eating stench cow left and right.
Just you okay, BB?
You up?
All right. Is that the message?
No, let me type this out so I
Okay.
can see.
Get a good character count.
Exactly. So it was.
Gonna have to get you guys a scroll of character count.
Were you here last moon? You okay? Any news?
The sending stone, you know, when you start to use it, it glows green. It's like the Twitter counter that changes color as you type words.
As you talk.
It starts to get red as you get to your limit.
Wait, I'm just counting.
Send nudes. Is that...
I'm up to 12. I've got. Were you here last moon?
You don't have to use all 25.
We're
just
gonna.
saying.
Were you here
Why
last
not?
moon?
Knock
You
it out.
okay? Any news? You have kids? That sounds really weird. You free tomorrow night? Drinks?
Did we ever tell her that we killed the monster?
Oh, we should tell her that.
You have not used the sending stone at
Killed.
all.
Oh.
In the
She
you've
was
been
Let's-
gone.
with us too.
Yeah, that's true. This is a two-way
we should probably
street.
share that.
The phone goes both ways.
Killed
Hennie.
bullets, caravan coming.
Wait, should we tell her that in case we're suspicious of her? Maybe we don't tell her we're coming yet.
No, I was just gonna tell her there's a caravan coming so they can get everything together, because a huge influx of traders into
Oh.
DMV was probably gonna catch them off guard. It's
Okay.
it's called manners, Nicoya.
Excuse me. I didn't realize that
Kelvin.
Kelvin was a paragon of manners.
Like
I'm
when I
not.
think manners, I think Kelvin.
I'm just saying the bar is like that's how low
Yeah.
the bar is.
Yeah, that's right. I think Kelvin. Are we done?
Yeah.
Dinner done yet?
Yeah, can I go?
Thanks for the stuff. You made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Anyone have any other things they want Henny's input on?
Wait, should we mention anything about the Forgotten Five? Is that relevant?
I don't think we need to.
You can always
How's
ask in
Dad?
person. I don't think it's pressing.
What'd you say, Winter?
How is Dad? Like Mr. Darkbrew, but
Oh,
you know.
he's not your father. I know you're
Where's
kind of
Dad?
confused about who your dad is, Winter, but I am willing to bet money that it is not Ovin.
We have the same eyes.
No, you don't. Yours are blue, his are brown.
Mine are amber.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
Kelvin's
Trying to-
colorblind. Shannon. Sorry.
do
Maya, why is your hair gray? Are you...
The turntables, Brian.
I love this gray sweatshirt I'm wearing. Whitish brown. I'm just gonna ask her these questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Ask away.
Just walkie-talkie, rocky-talkie. Were you here last? Were you here last moon? You okay? Any news? Do you have kids? Killed bullets. Caravan incoming. Lucky says hi.
wait, you have that written down, right?
Yes.
Can you send that direct to me?
Yes.
I think I'll need it later.
Read that again.
Were you here last moon? You okay? Any news? You have kids? Killed bullets. Caravan incoming. Lucky says hi. I've got 7 more words left. That's it. He says that.
End it with, I have 7 more words left. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
About 30 seconds goes by, and you hear back. You hear, no, yes, no, no, good, hi.
So you said
And
no,
then-
no, yes, no, no.
Yep. No, yes, no, good, hi.
Okay, she says no, yes, no, good, hi.
And then she says, glad you're safe. See you soon.
Then some other bullshit. I don't know. And
Manners.
Can
Yeah.
we interpret what the questions were with the answers? 'Cause-
she wasn't here last moon. She's fine.
Okay.
She doesn't have any news. She doesn't have kids. She's glad we accomplished the bare minimum of what she sent us here to do.
And hi.
And she says hello, Lucky.
Awesome.
So the big one is she wasn't here last moon. We already know Nicoya can
Because
change faces. So
That's true.
I'm assuming, I mean, it's a rare thing, but not unheard
And that's
of.
remember. You remember no one you've talked to actually saw that elf's face or that dwarf's face.
Yeah. So it could just be.
I think
I could put on a cloak and walk in and sign Darkbrew, and these racist fucks aren't gonna know that I'm not Ovin.
That's true.
I'm sure. I mean,
I think we should head back with the caravan and get a little closer to the bodyguards, the dwarves, and find out what's going on there.
I
Because
think so.
they're up to no good.
Yeah. I'll go tell who was in charge of the caravan leaving tomorrow.
Walburn.
I'll go find Walburn and just really cryptically be like, "We'll be there tomorrow," and then just leave. That's it.
Okay, you do that.
Are you gonna go alone?
Anyone can come if they want.
I mean, it's literally like right next door. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
so you do that. You go to the Downy Den, spend your last night in relative comfort. Before heading back out onto the road for 6 days of hard travel. Which you're not entirely looking forward to, but at least you have a lot of backup at this point. And the morning comes, and you guys get up and you go see the caravan pretty much ready to go. And what you notice, the 2 carts in front of the caravan are made with the elongated top halves of the turned upside down. The boulette skulls have been mounted to wheels, and those are the caravan. That is the 2 of the carts for the caravan. Yes, Nicoya.
Do we have time to go check out the Pursuer's Pleasure before we go? I've only been to one brothel so far.
You have time that night if you had desired not to go right to bed and wanted to check out the Pursuer's Pleasure before you left in the morning. You could do that, but I would say they would be really upset if they had to halt the caravan because you wanted to go
Get some good.
get some tail, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Can we possibly take a quick break while Nicoya goes and does that?
We can take a quick break and
Before we caravan things?
no, I think you guys are. I mean, is that something you really want to do, Nicoya, or are you gonna just go?
I don't want to hold up the caravan. No.
Okay.
We'll skip that.
All right. So you guys get on the caravan. The caravan goes, and I will say this because you guys, it's a large caravan, well armed, lots of noise. You guys killed all the big baddies on your way here. It is a smooth trip back to Darkbrew's Rest, and after this quick break, you will be home. So
They were
you
saying
hear
we level up.
what? What, Winter?
They say we leveled up.
Not yet. You guys haven't fought anything.
We fought bullets.
Oh yeah.
We didn't
but,
kill anybody at that dinner. That's
Didn't
what
kill
we're
anybody at
talking
dinner.
You should get points for not killing anyone at dinner.
You don't get points for not killing everything you see.
We're really fighting self-restraint, and so far we're winning.
No. You guys are very close, though. I promise.
Have we divvied up the treasure chest yet? Or is that
As
just,
far as
like,
I know, you
hanging
guys
out?
have not divvied up the treasure chest, but we could take
No,
that
I
as read that you
Everything
did
in my
that.
bag of holding that I could,
Okay.
Yeah.
other than what's on the thingies. But we will at Darkbrew's Rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, quick break. Be back in 10?
Yep. Be back at.
We'll finish the
8-ish.
tea, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be back at 8-ish. All right. Okay, you guys. The caravan slowly approaches Darkbrew's Rest. This caravan is actually driven by Stench Cow. So you have had 3 days travel instead of 6.
Nicoya, stop drooling. You've been
and
drooling for 3 days.
The time, you are not sure if the trade-off was worth it for saving 3 days because of the stench. In fact, the stench cows are technically not allowed in the city. Agreement has been made to keep them outside. So you guys go in as they are met. Because you had told Hennie ahead of time you were coming, they had people prepared to meet you and get things ready. You did notice on one of the 3 nights, probably Ula, because of her high perception, thought that she saw the outline of a bear following you in the distance, but it did not get close enough to know for sure. And being with a party full of hunters, you didn't want to draw it to anybody's attention either. So you are back home in Darkbrew's Rest. The caravan has been met, and specifically, one of the people to meet you is Giles, the constable or the right-hand man of the one of the right-hand men of Ovin, and he greets you guys and tells you that Hennie wants to see you as soon as possible. And she will be at Hennie's hideaway. And you guys enter the city or enter the gates, and you notice there's a big crowd. There's like, what before was a sparsely populated central square with maybe looked like a kind of lame farmer's market on a rainy Thursday, is now looks like a full-on bazaar. Like 2/3 of the courtyard is filled up. There are tents pitched. There are wagons with selling wares, and there's clothes draped over wooden racks, and just it looks like you're in like a Moroccan bazaar or something like that, something out of Indiana Jones. And it's lively. The amphitheater, there's a crowd in the amphitheater, and there's jugglers and performers, and it looks like a lively multicultural trading post. And it looks like Ovin's vision is happening. And then you guys are struck by something very weird as you head over to Hennie's hideaway. You hear something from inside Venzo's fence. Something you've never heard from the vicinity of Venzo or in there. You hear a loud, raucous, bellowing laugh.
Fart. Oh.
That goes on. Fart, laugh, same thing.
What is a fart but a laugh from the butt?
Yes. And that strikes you as odd, but you have a mission. You have been beckoned by one of your bosses, or your boss's wife.
Yeah.
So you head to Hennie's hideaway, and you see her at a table. 2 black-clad dwarven guards on either side. Tables, chairs in front, and she asks you to sit down.
Hi, Hennie.
Hey, Hennie.
Hi.
She greets you warmly. She smiles, and she says, "I'm glad you guys are back safe. I was very glad to hear from you. I hadn't heard from you in like 8 days. I was beginning to get worried. So I'm glad you made it safe." And then she kind of
took us 8 days to figure out how to fit those questions into one sending.
Sending stones can be tricky, but you use them enough. You get used to them. And she kind of leans in and whispers quietly, "So, did you find anything out?"
Now.
Yes.
Kellen, why don't you?
What did you learn?
Nothing concrete, but I think
She gives like a frustrated grunt.
I think it was more planned than. I think there was more thought behind it than hire someone to end a problem.
Okay, so I'm guessing you ruled out the hospitality guild.
As best as we
More or
can.
less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's kind of what I thought.
At least
Okay.
I'd phrase it more as the leads we found pointed not towards our original suspects. We haven't found anything,
So you found leads. Where did they point you, if not towards original suspects?
magic and
Magic.
guile and lies.
Magic and Kyle. That's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, it wasn't what
Okay.
we were expecting either. And honestly, it wasn't. I would have much rather been pointed to a head I could separate from a body than,
Well, the direct approach is often the most fun.
So
Okay.
I
She kind of like looks at you, nods a little bit.
Henny, I have
Yeah.
just a question. Just curious about it. These fancy guards that you suddenly have, these black-clad dwarves. What's the deal with them? Where did they come from?
Oh, they work for my father.
Who's
Anyone
who's your father?
associated with, and yes, the second he found out that Ovin was attacked, he sent two to specifically guard me. And I think he
Sure.
probably.
Is your father's name like Henry, Harold,
No. No, it is not.
Hormir, Hardrick?
What's his name? No.
What is his name?
Hoover,
Another thing I should have come up with before.
Herbert.
His name is actually Bruce.
H. Bruce, maybe? A
No,
weird
just Bruce.
spelling. The H is silent.
Why are you asking about his?
What
Then
is-
her eyes can kind of narrow, and she gets very suspicious, and she goes, "Why are you asking about his name and the letter H?"
Because dwarves from where I'm from always have the same initial as their parents.
What did you find?
I say. My
Okay,
dad's
she's gonna
name.
wait. She's gonna roll an insight check.
Should I bluff?
You can if you'd like.
Should I try to actually deceive?
All right, yeah, we can do.
I
We
don't know.
can do.
You should be the deceiver, Brian.
We
Wait.
started. We've gone in. He's
Can I-
in.
Well, wait. Can I talk to her
Okay.
like telepathically in her head?
Yeah, you can.
Do-
Wait,
do
can you
want
talk to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
mean,
yeah,
I
you can.
can.
Yeah, you can.
Wait.
I got a 2 on my deception check.
Okay, she just looks at you and goes, "You need to tell me what you found.
Yeah,
I want to hear it, no matter how much it may upset me."
I would love to tell you, I really would, but I don't think this is the place.
Okay. Why don't we go to Ovin's office?
I think that would be much more agreeable.
Sure.
Excellent. So she stands up. You all leave. You go to Ovin's office. Ovin is sitting behind his desk. Lyric is standing behind him dutifully. As you walk to his office, you hear more laughter from Venzo's.
What the fuck?
From
is that
Venzo's.
What's so funny?
It's just in the distance, and you say something, but Hennie is a woman on a mission. She guides you, walks with purpose to Ovin's office. You go to Ovin's office. Ovin is sitting there with Lyric behind him. Oh, darling, good to see you. Darling, hi. You brought them. Excellent. You brought them back. I'm glad to see them safe.
Hi, Ovin.
Same to you, Ovin.
Well, and he says hello, and
Would-
Hennie like kind of goes and stands next to her husband. The guards kind of go to like a corner of the opposite corner of the rooms. And she looks at Ovin and says, "They're about to tell us what they found in the Sandhearth about who's trying to kill you."
And Henny, I know you're very curious, but this should also be taken. I feel like it should just be the DMV and the Darkbrews present for this discussion.
Hennie has a look come across her face that is a mixture of insulted yet amused. Ovin just laughs out loud and says, "There's no DMV without her.
No, that's not.
Tell us what you have."
No,
That's not what I
I think
meant.
Kellen meant maybe it's just the DMV, you two,
Could
and
you
no one
have your
else.
guard stand outside?
Oh! I thought. I'm sorry. I thought you were sending me out of the
Oh,
room.
absolutely not.
Yeah, Lyric.
Guards.
Wait outside the door, please. We'll be fine. They leave, and as they leave, Lyric looks at Winter briefly and nods, and exits the room. So, okay, we're alone. Tell us what you need to know. What we need to know.
Okay, the lead that we found in. Kelvin's saying this very quietly, like leading into them, like we're huddled and trying to make my voice not carry. We didn't find anything concrete of any of the guild members or guilds. In fact, a lot of the people we discussed only had the nicest things, or a lot of the people we chatted with only had nice things to say about the character of the guild masters in Sandhearth. But we found out about a mysterious group of 3 dwarves that had visited Sandhearth 3 to 4 weeks prior. Hence some of the questions and the Rocky Talkies that we'd asked. And they didn't identify one of the 3 as you, Hennie, but the other 2 looked, from the descriptions, looked like your 2 guards out there. So, if it wasn't you, then I think someone is going out of their way to either use your name and the power and sway it has, or your face, or both.
Was someone using my name?
We found the signature of H. Darkbrew at the Downey Den in the ledger from 3... Would we have like an exact date from that?
It wasn't a date, but it would have been like far enough back in the book, like, so you have a break. It could have been anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks ago, but it could fit in the timeline. It could not, but based on like who signed the book when, and based on the fact that there hadn't been anybody there for 3 weeks because of the boulettes and all that, you were able to like piece it together. She puts her head down. You can kind of hear her curse under her breath. She grabs. You can see her fingers tighten on Ovin's shoulder a little bit, and then she turns to Ovin and says, "I'm so sorry. I didn't want to believe it. I think it's my brother."
Is his name Harold?
His name is
Henry?
Hermit.
Hermit? Oh,
Hermit.
Hermit?
Hermit the dwarf.
Hurmit. Hermit.
Why would your brother want to kill Ovin?
Okay. Ovin just kind of shakes his head.
Was your brother his betrothed, and then you stole his heart, and
Ooh.
now your brother resents you for? Is this a tale of
Ovin leans
star-crossed?
back and says, "Okay,
Happens all the time.
here's what you need to know. I took my wife's name. The Darkbrew money comes from her family. Hennie is a Darkbrew. I took her name because no one would want to go to business with an Ovin keg bottom."
No.
Ouch.
What's wrong with that name?
What about Ovin Keg?
I know a lot of
verse?
fine bottoms.
Yeah. Ovin Keg verse, Ovin Keg top.
Her-
always just
Her
change.
father, Bruce, frequented a tavern my family owned quite frequently. Despite being, a successful, and Kelwyn being from the same city, the Darkbrew name is not unknown to you. They are one of the wealthier families of Oberweirden, which is one of the reasons you agreed to take the job in the first place when it was offered to you. But you don't know enough about the intrigue to know the names of the sons and daughters, and you don't follow the society pages and the gossip. So yes, so he tells you that yes, as your father and I became friends when he would frequent the tavern my parents would owned, and I often tended bar there. And one day when he got so drunk I needed to help him home, I met Hennie, and we, hit it off and eventually fell in love. And even though most of the family was not thrilled with a Darkbrew marrying a keg bottom, Master Darkbrew gave us his blessing. And we had talked several nights, and I had always talked about my idea of, starting an outpost like this and having my own line of taverns. And he thought he was fully supportive. And then Hennie chimes in and says, yes, Hermit was not as supportive. He felt the money that father was spending on this venture was cutting into his inheritance. When you said magic and guile, I was surprised because Hermit has none of those, as is evidenced by using his own name, his own initial, in a log. The guards routinely accompany father's children on long vacations and long trips. He's paranoid that way, but we have a lot of money, and kidnapping is a constant threat.
They're Darkbrew guards.
For his children.
They're Darkbrew guards.
Yes, they are Darkbrew guards. Not Darkbrew organization that we have going here, but family guards.
The family, yeah.
Darkbrew worked for house. Our family for yes, house guards.
Do you feel you can trust that they're not loyal to certain family members and not to others?
They are loyal to my father's money.
Would Hermit have enough sway to pay one of his guards to attack a family member with the guards that he has?
If he had that kind of sway, I think he would have done it already rather than travel the length and breadth of the arid valley to find an assassin. I think if he had found a weak link in the guards, and let's just say Hermit isn't well liked amongst the guards. They protect him because it is their duty, but from what I understand, none of them are really happy when they draw that straw.
Maybe it's because when he doesn't get his way, he decides to hire an assassin to...
Shortcuts have always been his way of doing things. It's a shame too, because if he had gotten on board and became part of this, he could be reaping in the rewards we are, because as you can see when you came in, things have picked up quite well. Your mission to Shah Araka was a resounding success.
When we showed up, the bazaar smelled like stink cow and money. Honestly, so.
Yes, we had to put the stink cows outside of the city, but
Maybe,
and then Ovin says, stinky gold is worth just as much as non-stinky gold.
How do you feel about opening a potpourri stall?
Actually, you did catch quite a few odors of incense, and noticed that the incense cart was doing very good business. So the stench cows actually might have been a good thing. And then Hennie says, if you'll excuse me, dear, I need to go have a long conversation with my father. That's probably better done in person. I'm going to get ready. I will leave first thing in the morning.
Are you going all the way to Oberweirden?
I don't think of any other. I can't think of any other way. But it's so. But I will.
You have protection along the way.
Well, I will have.
Not those
Venzo can
years.
teleport me there. So.
Oh, okay. Are you
So
gonna keep your half
Well,
ascending stone?
No, you can hold on to it. It would be nice to for you to keep in touch with us when you're on your missions, and if we don't hear from you for a while. So yeah, you can hang on to that. And then so she kisses Ovin goodbye, says, "I'm sorry I'll miss tonight," and leaves. And
No,
as
no
she
kiss
opens
goodbye
up the
for
door,
us, Henny.
she smiles and laughs and does her best to laugh. She's in. You can tell that this was new. This was something she suspected but didn't want to believe it. And so she sends Lyric back in, who resumes her post and takes off with the guards behind her as the door closes. And Ovin looks at you two and says, "Hey, well done, well done. We have a important guest in the city, and we are having a special dinner tonight, and I would like you guys all to be there as ambassadors of Darkbrew's Rest. And no, it just feels like you've had a big dinner, but that was 3 or 4 days ago. So again, 3 days on the road with nothing but rations, another nice fine feast. Sounds good. And he says the dinner will be tonight. He would like you to join him, as in he expects you to join them. And then he says you guys have earned a couple days off after that. So, barring any emergencies, you'll have some downtime after dinner.
Absolutely be there at dinner, but for future reference, if you're feeling like you want to do something special to show how much you appreciate us, maybe like a nice quiet retreat somewhere is a little more, at least my style.
And he laughs. He laughs. He says, "I'm
Also,
looking forward to
nice
hearing about your
like
adventure."
parties.
What was that, Lucky?
What, Lucky?
Also, parties are nice. We like people. They're a lot of fun.
No.
Lucky, you need to talk a little bit slower. For some reason, when you talk fast, it cuts. We're not getting every word. So
yeah.
It's fine. You know what I said.
that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Is there a reason we would recognize the keg bottom name?
No.
Or is the fact that it's unrecognizable what's so shameful?
I think
It's not that it's shameful. It's just that, if you wanted to have a grand business venture, would you name it the keg? Would you guys want to be the keg bottom Monster Vanguard or the Darkbrew Monster Vanguard?
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Put it that way. Well,
I think I went to school with a keg bottom back in
quite possible.
Obuvaden.
So you guys, the delegates from Sandhearth set up their wagons and carts and tents in the bazaar. A few of them bring your gifts to your headquarters, which you can use to decorate your currently sparsely decorated, sparse headquarters. So
how many?
You are back in town.
How many bedrooms were in our headquarters? Was it 6?
You had enough room for 8.
Oh, okay. Can we
You had
use
8 bedrooms.
one of the spare bedrooms is just like our trophy room?
You could. I mean, you have enough room. Like you could hang in your common area. You could hang like the antlers on the wall. You could, put the, you have definitely enough place to destroy. But yeah, you could have a trophy room, or you can display the trophies in the common area. It's a good size common area, so there would definitely be.
Where are we gonna put the tree?
You do have a yard that you share with the.
Oh yeah, like quartermaster.
You do have a yard that you share with the Emporium, the exchange, the Darkbrew exchange.
I don't know, you guys. We kind of want to get to know Venzo better. Should we say that we need a nice, safe yard to plant our tree, and maybe that's a way that we can go check on our tree and plant it in his yard, and it could be a friendship thing?
And see why he's laughing so much?
Yeah.
I'm all for this friendship tree ruse.
Yes.
Lucky, did you okay, crazy idea. Winter, remember when you had that dream and you spent way too much money on that thing that Darlove did? Do you remember one of the tunes that Venzo was kind of playing during that?
I remember them all word for word for the next 26 days.
Could you?
You didn't remember songs. You didn't hear any songs. She was just telling you the tale. So you actually don't know any of the songs he played.
I thought in his dream he heard the music. Was it?
No,
is that
no.
wrong?
In the dream. No, in the dream he was just kind of strumming on the. In the dream he was just kind of strumming on his
Okay.
lute while they were all partying. He wasn't actually singing a song or anything like that.
Never mind.
And if he was, it wasn't one of the songs from the thing. It was in the dream. It was unintelligible.
I was gonna see if
Maybe,
we could have Lucky play one of Venzo's songs for Venzo.
We could have Lucky play a song of the Forgotten Five. Her own. An original. His own.
Well, I was going to say, if these are part of the history, maybe there's something that's already being played and we can learn from going to taverns and hearing the stories that people play, and I just need to gather my collection.
As Winter, actually, you might have missed this, Lucky, because you had to step away because you were you had an annoying wrinkle in your outfit. But Winter's story ended with because the loss of Ilya and them retiring, their fame and renown slowly faded away. They are now only remembered by a handful of scribes and bards as the Forgotten Five. So the likelihood of you wandering into a random tavern anywhere and hearing a song about them is extremely rare.
Could we, Lucky, could you just quickly whip up a tune, like slap together a song about them? Although you said his wife died twice, right? Maybe we don't play him a song about.
Yeah, his wife died twice in the same battle.
He's really
so
happy at the moment. Do we want to bring in a really sad ballad?
Yeah, no. Let's just stick with our friendship tree and.
Friendship tree.
Ula, his house is on a grave. Is it weird to offer grave tending?
Lucky, when you had jumped the fence and actually talked with Venzo, you noticed, I mean, the fence, there was the house and a very lush garden and the bench in front of the stone.
Oh, the pear tree would be perfect for a lush garden. Brilliant.
Exactly.
So
it's probably
you
gonna
guys
be weird if we
hoof
walk
it
up.
over to. So do you guys hoof it over to Venzo's fence?
Yeah, and probably.
Okay, remember, the fence has no gate.
Don't mention the dead wife or the grave.
Do we still hear him?
You hear voices. You don't hear him, but you hear voices you have not heard before.
Voices plural.
Hear voices like Nicoya and Valmaya are talking.
Okay, before I just
No,
jump up
there's
the tree.
there's
and
a little
into
there's a
his
little
garden,
party
I
going
would
on
like
in
to
Venzo's garden. What'd you say, Lucky?
Oh.
So you jumped the tree?
No, well, no. I was going to say, before I jump the tree, I want to listen in. But you said voices.
Okay.
And there's a party going on. Do we recognize any of the voices?
Winter does.
It's Bear Bro.
Like, okay, so where do I recognize?
It's the five?
Or all the four for this one.
They sound eerily similar to the voices from your dream.
I would safely assume that I'm going to relay that insight to the team.
Okay.
It sounds familiar.
So, how do you present a friendship pear tree to?
Just throw it over the fence.
Okay, you throw it over the fence and you hear, ow! No, I
want to be near the
You
tree.
who, Venzo?
but right next to the fence.
what was that, Lucky? I'm sorry, you're cutting out pretty bad.
I'm sorry. I want to be near the tree that I'll climb up, but I'm still on the other side of the fence. And Venzo, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I would like to come in and give you a gift. It's
It
me,
takes a little
Lucky.
The voice is, and then you hear in kind of a loud, booming voice, "You have friends?" You don't hear anything.
Not by choice.
And then you hear
And
that.
I say, I'm coming out.
And then you hear that. Then you hear that same voice. Yes, yes, come up, come up. Not Venzo, but this other loud, booming voice.
So I have the tree, and I
How
have
are you
the pear
holding the
and I
tree?
do-
Is
Yeah.
it like a sapling or is it like a?
No, you could not carry this. This is a large, potted tree. In fact, it
I
actually
can't let
took.
you back and plug it
It actually took two of you, like Winter and Kelwyn, actually had to carry it here.
right.
All the way from your.
Take him up. I just hand Lucky a pear. Take this. Take this.
Okay.
And then you hear from the.
So I take that
Then you hear from
tree
another.
and I sit on top.
Voice, kind of a lighter but like a higher pitched voice is, "Oh, for God's sakes, Venzo, just let them in." And you hear a grunt, and then a gate opens up. Not a gate, just like the fence, a gap. Door mysteriously opens in the fence.
This whole time
you-
you had a door, Venzo?
I know, he's not the most social, is he? Says a small, older gnome, dressed in cleric robes, as she beckons you in, and Venzo is just sitting on the bench, just like shaking his head.
Winter, help me with the tree.
I hop
Do we all
down
just stroll
out
right
of-
in?
Yeah, I mean, you can all start, and then
All right.
the dwarf, the bald dwarf with a long white beard, mostly covering the big white bear, like a tattoo of a polar bear on his chest, wearing a fur mantle, like beckons you, come in, any friends of Venzo's is friends of ours, right, Venzo? And he's just again shaking his head, like, oh, you guys, this is why I don't have you over very often. So you guys enter Venzo's domain, and the gate seals behind you.
Hi, everyone.
And he does kind of look at the pear tree appreciatively. And he gets up, he walks over, he grabs one of the pears and sniffs it and doesn't take it off or anything, but then he like looks down into the pot and like kind of runs his fingers through the soil, and he kind of like gives an impressed harumph and says to his friends, this is the Darkbrew Monster Vanguard, which you've been hearing about. These are my friends, old friends from a long time ago. And he introduces you as the dwarf Angor and the gnome Kierna and a older elf, Giled. He says, welcome. We were just having a bit of a reunion. So.
It's nice to meet you.
And then Angor says, yes, come in. Venzo, get some ale for your friends. And Venzo's like, okay, fine. I guess it's a party. So he goes in, gets some ale, comes back out. He's got kind of like a small keg and some sorted mugs. He doesn't keep company, so nothing matches. And tell us, where have you coming from? How have you been doing? And he seems, they all seem very interested in what you've been up to.
We
classified.
killed monsters.
That's a hobby we can get behind.
I forget what they're called.
Bullets.
Nasty business, Boulettes. Did they jump on you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not me.
Yeah.
They'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Excellent. Well, this is quite a surprise. I didn't think we were going to get to meet you till tonight, but no reason we can't get the drinking started early, right?
Oh,
And-
you're the
Oh,
guests
yes.
that Ovin told us about. He
Uh,
said,
I don't think we are. I think we were just invited. I think there's another guest in town
"Oh,
that he wants to impress.
Fenzo's old
Uh,
adventuring
and-
friends are somehow trumped by another guest."
And he kind of looks at
Shocked.
you and goes, "How did you know we were his old adventuring friends?"
Piece together some.
He's got an intuitive
And there's a
sense,
pause.
you
He
know.
goes, I mean, it's obvious, right?
Yeah. I didn't think you were just friends with three
And
random
he
other.
hands you, Kelwyn, a flask, and he says, "This is good dwarven whiskey. It gets past that pesky dwarven poison resistance we have. Enjoy."
That's dangerous.
Oh, come on, you're home now. It's safe. You don't
I
have to
just-
keep your guard up all the time.
Take a swig.
Our maids come join us.
It's good. It's
swig,
good.
Swig and
It's
whiskey.
like, yeah, it's that kind of whiskey. You can feel it go right down your gullet, just land in your stomach.
What is the
And
Why not?
You also notice. Actually, Lucky, please roll perception.
ah. 8.
8. You notice. You notice. Kierna kind of like looking at you. Not suspicious, but she has a puzzled look on her face when she looks at you, but isn't trying to be. Isn't too. I mean, it's just kind of like almost like she's wondering how you fit into the group.
Lucky just grabs Haley and walks on over and is like, "Hey, what's your story?"
Hi. Oh, I'm just a friend of Venzo's from the adventuring days, as you say.
Tell me more.
Oh, I'm just, a typical wandering cleric.
Is that typical?
For adventuring parties, you would know all about that. Right?
Oh,
And she looks at Ula and nods her head.
She's new to the whole wandering cleric thing. This has really just been like a long weekend away.
She
at
may be
camp.
new, but I think it's been in her for a while.
I-
And she kind of gives you a knowing. Ula, roll perception, please.
9.
What?
9.
Oops,
Okay.
can you see that?
Oh, that said 13.
Yeah, it's at 13.
Oh wait,
Oh,
it
it's
oh,
at
it didn't show
13?
me the total.
Yeah. It
Weird.
does in the
I
bottom
didn't see the
right.
total. Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the dice. Anyway, well, glad you guys saw.
You notice she has a necklace around her neck, and it is very similar to the emblem on your shield, the skeleton
Oh.
hand holding the scales.
Interesting. I see we perhaps worship the same god.
Oh, worship in service of God and his
Yeah.
allies. I
Interesting.
am mostly I mostly serve the will of Neuralis and Lore.
Ah, same. Never
Yes,
met
I got
another
that feeling.
grave cleric.
I'm not a grave cleric. I've never actually met a grave cleric before. You're very
Oh.
interesting. I'll have to learn more about that.
So if
We're in town for a couple of days. I look forward to
Hmm.
speaking with you.
oh, we'll have to catch up. I have many
Yeah.
questions.
Yes, Neuralis is a interesting god. It's overseeing life and death, understanding the balance between both, and how they need each other.
Yes. It is often a misunderstood domain, but we all have the best intentions.
I would hope so. You guys drink, eat, or not eat, but you drink and get kind of, yes, Lucky.
I would like to address a gentleman with the bear tattoo.
Yes, Angor.
I was gonna say you guys all froze. Sorry.
Okay. Are we back?
Lucky kind of walks over.
Hey,
Nice tattoo.
thank you.
Do you recognize
Nice tattoo. And he points, he goes, nice tattoo.
me? Do you recognize me?
No. I've only seen a couple of tabaxis in my travels, and none of them have been black.
You didn't happen to be a bear in the middle of a desert?
Is this how you start all of your? Is this what do you ask people you meet?
Usually he just hugs them.
I mean, I can get snuggly. If you prefer snuggly, I can do snuggly.
The elf laughs. Gilid laughs and says, "For all his gruffness, Angor hasn't been anywhere there isn't a comfortable bed in quite a few years. I doubt he would be drinking out of a water hole in the middle of the desert at night anytime lately."
I was telling Giotto about what you were saying about
Okay.
finding an off-game
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
and he was like, I can't. I have 6 months of wow.
You guys all chat. Any other questions for the group, or yes, Winter?
Do you know any strange sentient bears?
Well, we've met a few in our lifetime, but not in this area. We haven't been down here, and then they all, and then Angor kind of catches himself and says, "A very long time."
Aww.
And you can kind of tell the mood is deflated a little bit, and then he just kind of like, "What? War stories for another time." And then Venza says, "Yes, I'm sure it looks like you'll be at dinner tonight. Maybe we can all catch up then."
I have to
thank
say,
you.
it brought me no small amount of joy to see Venzo forced to have friends.
And he says, "Thank you for the tree. It is quite lovely."
We hope that we can come visit the tree and you more often.
And Angor says, "Oh, he would love that, right, Venzo?" And he pats him on the back, and he like spits out his drink and kind of glares at him a little bit. And the other two, well, the elf laughs. Kiernan just kind of chuckles a little bit, but yeah. So you have kind of like been, politely asked to give them some space. See you at dinner tonight.
May I ask that Venzo bring his lute so he can entertain us tonight with one of his beautiful stories?
Venzo is about to say something, and then once again Angor speaks up. "Oh, he would be delighted, I'm sure. Right, Venzo?" Venzo just rolls his eyes and goes, "Oh, God. Yes, Angor's that friend."
Wonderful.
Yeah. And Venzo then looks up. "Perhaps you should bring yours as well."
He would
Of
love
course.
that.
Attaboy, Kelvin.
We should go.
Yep. So you guys take off. You can spend the time however you want, or we can go right to dinner if you wish.
Just want to look through the new bustling marketplace.
Okay, it is a bustling marketplace. There are The delegates from Sandhearth are setting up their tables and tents and awnings and carts and things like that, and you can recognize they've not on purpose, but just out of familiarity, they've kind of like claimed their own spot. So the merchants from Inglestone have their own spot. The merchants from Sha'araka have their own kind of spot, but there's definitely like trading going on between the two. The goods from between Inglestone and Sha'araka are very similar. Lots of textiles, lots of crafts, lots of foods. Just slightly different. There's potion vendors. There's a lot of clothing vendors. The stuff from Sandhearth is very different. It's leathery. It's things made of bone and ivory. It's very rustic and definitely stands out. But the quality is not inferior at all. It's just different materials, different cultures. I mean, if you guys are looking for anything specific, okay, just kind of get a feel. All right. So, and you guys notice as you're just kind of hanging out, you notice in the amphitheater, 5 performers dressed in very similar costumes. They're like, one has a big red wig and fake horns like curling around, and the other has black hair and straight horns, but like a big mask. And there's someone who is like on his knees with like big kind of shoulder pads, and another like one with like big comical pointed ears, and someone else that's basically like in all black with cat ears and big whiskers, and they are in a farcical way fighting these 2 scorpions that the costumes are made up of, like look like maybe paper mache, and there's like 3 people per costume. There's actually like 5 people per costume, 1 doing each claw, 1 in the middle, and like 2 doing the tail, and they're reenacting one of the first battles that the that the Darkbrew Monster Vanguard had in the Arid Valley, and then the crowd is loving it.
Guys, let's go watch.
There you go. I want to see this.
Did we just get famous?
Can we play some bets? No one knows me yet. Can I like?
Oh yeah. Ula, you should tell them that's okay. We'll tell you what really happened, and then you should critique them and be like, "That's not what happened," and then they'll be like, "How do you know?" And then you just point to us.
I love it.
Yeah.
So they're up there.
Did they get the horns right? Or is this going to be like the Ember Island players with the scars on the wrong side?
No, they got the horns to the most. I mean, it's not like I mean, they know you guys.
Oh, these are like a. Oh, I thought this was just some random troop.
This is like a
No, these are just
theatrical
local
thing,
guys.
right?
I mean, it could be I mean, you don't know, but I mean, it's not. You guys aren't like from distant lands.
That's true.
You know, anyone here like knows, like anyone locally knows you guys. Even someone from Sha'araka or Inglestone. It's not like, it's definitely not like Ember Island players. It is more rooted in, but it's basically just entertainment for watching these people try to reenact this. The humor is more them trying to reenact an epic battle while looking absolutely ridiculous. And when one of them tries to cast Shatter, they just throw a bucket of confetti on one of the scorpions, and the tail breaks apart as Nicoya and Lucky cast Shatter.
Nicoya actually cast Shatter, but like 20 feet in the air above them.
I'm not gonna do that.
No.
What a waste of a spell.
So, if you guys can while away your afternoon at the amphitheater watching a variety of performers. There's some jugglers, there's some bards singing, classic
Lucky,
bard taverns.
why don't you sing? You actually have an audience. Lucky. Lucky, go on stage.
Are you going to go on stage, Lucky?
All right. Good. Yeah.
Okay, so Lucky gets up. So there's like one performance is ended. There's a little bit of a brief spell, and before anyone else can claim the stage, Lucky stands up and just like with the confident arrogance of a cat, struts down the stairs onto the stage, faces everybody, strums the ukulele in a pose, and what is the song you sing, Lucky?
The song is telling a tale about our journey and about our battle.
Which one?
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Lucky, please roll a performance roll, please.
Uh-huh. I got a 16.
That's good. A 16. Is that including all your bonuses and all that? Because I believe you are proficient in performance.
Yeah, the
it's the
D&D.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see it on the thing. Okay. All right. You got a 16.
Yeah, it has a thing.
People love it. They clap. They are kind of like it's partial. Like, most of them actually never heard you sing before. All of them have never seen a tabaxi sing before. So you are quite the hit, and it's also a friendly crowd. You're on your home turf.
I hold up a.
So you are received very well.
I hold up a hat for donations.
They also know you guys make pretty good money, so you get no donations.
I was just telling our team.
Okay, well, I think that's actually a good place to end, because if we start dinner, it'll get much longer. So we'll pick up with dinner and the shenanigans that ensue afterwards next week. So yeah, so if you thank you to our watcher on YouTube, and
We like you.
hope you'll join us next week. Follow us on the socials. This is, we're about to get current, so we'll be dropping the videos right after we play, and because it's a gaming group and life and all that, we're going to try to stick to a regular schedule about recording on Mondays, but sometimes things happen. So, follow us on the socials, and we'll let you know when the episodes are dropping. So other than that, thanks for watching.